podcast is brought to you by Air Care One, Worldwide Air Ambulance Services. Call now.
Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bull Eagle J. Roos. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kelly and Andy McPhee.
Yeah,
They try to survive.
that's right. No, they're amazing creatures. They're very intelligent, very clever, and they can be very, very funny at times. I've seen horses with wonderful senses of humor, and they're almost all, those sort of naughty, jokester type that are always pulling pranks. They're the best.
Yeah, they have human minds, and so do other animals, One story I have involving an animal having a human-like mind was when I went to the zoo and saw some orangutans for the first time. And when I came up to the window of one of them, it was holding on to a net, but it gave me the finger.
Well, you probably had it coming, Doug. I mean,
I mean, at the time I was getting a picture of it. Maybe it didn't want its picture taken.
maybe that's funny.
Yeah, but that was an interesting moment. So yeah, if it's an animal and it gives you that, you definitely had it coming somehow.
Somehow. Yeah, that's great.
Have you seen any horses have some human-like moments that made you laugh, if you can think of one or two?
Um, the greatest horse I've ever known. Um, the horse like I said, I grew up with horses, so I've known so many horses over my lifetime, but the greatest horse I've ever known was an off-track thoroughbred. His name was Cheyenne, and he was badly abused, especially after his racing career was finished. He was really mistreated, and when he came to me, he was he was very, I don't want to say hostile, but he was very skeptical of me. And he was huge. He was almost 17 hands, very athletic, former racehorse. And when he first laid eyes on me and I laid eyes on him, you could tell he was going, he was sizing me up and letting me know that he wasn't interested in any sort of relationship with me. But I just was very patient with him, and I eventually earned his trust, and he became the greatest horse I've ever known. We had some just amazing adventures. This is when I lived on the Oregon coast, and his favorite thing was to go to the beach. And I would basically just, because he was a thoroughbred, running is what he loved to do. And just to be able to just let go of the reins and let him run to his heart's content. Um, I really wanted to give him the ability to be who he was and to do what he loved to do. And he rewarded me with, you know, just being so dependable and reliable. He was full of fire. He was very spirited. He was very, very proud. But, he really honored who I was. I honored who he was. And we formed the best partnership I've ever had. And so I would say, that's probably my number one story about a horse is his transformation, how he evolved, how he helped me evolve, how he helped me develop a new way of looking at, the relationship that a person should have with a horse. And I think, we still see, unfortunately, too many situations where people are trying to dominate or control the horse, where the horse is nothing but a tool to make the person look good or feel good. And what I learned from Cheyenne was if you let that horse be who they want to be and who they were meant to be, they will reward you with a one-of-a-kind relationship that just transcends everything. So I would say that's, in terms of, having human-like qualities, his ability to evolve and to adapt and in turn teach me was something that, I haven't even received from a lot of people. I've had some great teachers and some great, instructors and mentors and so forth. But I think Cheyenne may very well have been the most valuable teacher I ever had in my life.
Please call Air Care 1 for worldwide air ambulance services. Brought to you by R&U.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.